In the small, quiet town of Eldridge, nestled among the rolling hills, stood a school that had been the heart of the community for generations. The school, with its ancient brick walls and ivy-clad façades, had stories embedded in every corner, but none as chilling as the story of the Black Code lockdown and the girl who found herself trapped in the most unlikely of places. The school shower room. Lila, a bright and curious 16-year-old, always had a fascination with the supernatural. She often joked that the school was haunted, with its creaky floorboards and eerie corridors that echoed with the whispers of the past. Little did she know, her jokes would soon become a terrifying reality. One autumn afternoon, as the leaves danced in the cool breeze, the school's intercom crackled to life, announcing a lockdown, a black code. No explanation was given, leaving the students and staff with a sense of impending doom. In the chaos, Lila found herself separated from her classmates, dashing into the girls' shower room to hide. The shower room, seldom used, had an air of neglect. The walls, lined with chipped tiles, seemed to close in on her. Lila sat on the cold, damp floor, listening to the eerie silence that had enveloped the school. It was then she heard it, a faint whispering almost like a hiss, followed by a soft, labored breathing. It seemed to be coming from the locker room. Was frozen in fear, Lila tried to convince herself it was her imagination, but the sounds persisted, growing louder, more desperate. Her eyes darted to the row of lockers, half expecting to see a figure emerge, but there was nothing. Just the sound of her own ragged breathing. As the minutes turned to hours, the atmosphere in the shower room grew heavier, almost suffocating. Lila felt as if the room itself was alive, its walls pulsating with a sinister energy. The whispering grew more distinct, now accompanied by a scraping sound, like metal against metal. It was coming from above, the ventilation shaft. For smothering her courage, Lila slowly looked up. What she saw chilled her to the bone. Two glowing eyes stared back at her from the darkness of the shaft. Was it a person, an evil spirit, or the perpetrator of the lockdown? The eyes blinked and then disappeared, leaving Lila in a state of panic. She wanted to scream, to run, but her body wouldn't move. The shower room, once a mundane space, had transformed into a character in its own right, trapping her in its claustrophobic embrace. The walls seemed to whisper secrets of the past, and the air grew colder, as if the room itself was feeding off her fear. Just as Lila thought she could bear no more, the lockdown was lifted. The sound of footsteps and voices filled the corridors. But the shower room remained silent, its secrets locked within. When Lila was found, she was in a state of shock, unable to articulate what she had seen. The school was searched, but no one was found in the ventilation shaft. No explanation for the Black Code lockdown was ever given. In the weeks that followed, Lila avoided the shower room, but she could still feel its presence, like a dark shadow looming over her. The school returned to normal, but for Lila, nothing was the same. She was left with an unshakable feeling that the shower room had revealed something to her. A hidden truth that was better left undiscovered. As years passed, the story of Lila and the Black Code lockdown became a legend, whispered among the students. The shower room, with its peeling tiles and echoing walls, stood as a silent witness, guarding the secrets of that fateful day. And though no one knew what Lila had seen in the ventilation shaft, one thing was certain. The school itself was a character in the story, an entity that had witnessed centuries of secrets and would continue to do so long after its corridors were empty and its classrooms silent. The end. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to write your opinion in the comments. It's important to me.